Warning, incoming game over. Warning, incoming game over.
Well. The Edmonton Oilers did the hard way, but in 5 games, they are moving on to the Western Conference Final for the second year in a row. The first time this team is off to a Western Final or Conference Final in consecutive years since 1991 and 1992. A 1-0 overtime victory. It's your boy, Avry, here in the host chair for Game Over Edmonton. Wow. What a night. How can you not be happy about that ending if you're an Oilers fan? Kasperi Kapanen, someone who was scratched in the first round. The definition of one of the depth guys on this Oilers roster, goes to the net, jams hard, and beats Adin Hill. It felt like it was going to be that greasy goal that was going to go in, that was going to find a way to beat either Adin Hill or Stuart Skinner, and that's what it took. Something greasy, something dirty, something that wasn't pretty, but in the postseason, you don't need a pretty goal. You just need a goal to get a victory. But you know what's always pretty? Hyperdrive hockey. Shift into Hyperdrive. Now get ready to have some fun with your new source for all the biggest stories in hockey. Bring in a unique style of broadcasting and commentary with a Quebecois flair. Hyperdrive hockey combines top-tier hockey analysis, big stories, pop culture, and a fun atmosphere that will drive debate, make you think, and more. Join Max Van Hoot, Daphne Malbeuf, and Kevin Lime every Monday and Thursday for your fill of the hockey world. Watch on YouTube, on the Game Over Network channel, or subscribe to the podcast on Apple, Spotify, or Amazon. And make sure to head to our website, thegameovernetwork.com, for more. Oh my goodness. This was a game where, if you look at all the series in the second round, if you had Edmonton Vegas being one of those series that was going to end 1-0, people wouldn't believe you. People would ask if you're okay. This was not the series people thought would have a 1-0 game going into an overtime period. Not a soul would have thought that. But hey, you know what? That's the reason why you don't play these games on paper. That's what can happen. And Edmonton, they had their chance in this game. This was a game that early on, it felt like it was a matter of these two teams not wanting to make the first mistake. We saw that breakouts were exactly clean. The neutral zone was clogged up. And it was a game where it really felt like whoever blinks first is losing. And neither Edmonton nor Vegas wanted to be that team in the first period that made that mistake that would cost them either their season or a nice cushion when it came to that series lead. So it felt like you didn't want to make those mistakes. No one wanted to make that mistake. And this is a game in which Edmonton had their chances on the power play to probably end this game earlier. They had their chances to take Vegas out of it. But that power play on the road, once again, this postseason, just isn't clicking. That power play just is having so many issues. And it's weird. It is really weird how the power play for the Oilers just isn't jiving right now. And I wish it was jiving better, because we've seen that power play in years past click no matter where this team has been. And we've seen that power play do phenomenal things on the road as well too. But this year, it just hasn't worked for whatever reason on the man advantage away from Rogers Place. But hey, end of the day, Edmonton found a way to get that victory. They're moving on to face either the Dallas Stars or the Winnipeg Jets. And it's more likely going to be Dallas again. Dallas is currently up on the Jets 3-1. So it's probably going to be a rematch of last year again for another chapter of Edmonton-Dallas. These two teams, no matter what year it is, no matter what decade it is, Edmonton-Dallas find a way to find each other. So that's most likely going to be that Western Conference Final. But man, this is a game where, here's the thing. Back and forth, it was, yes, a 1-0 game, but it was anything but boring. it was anything but uninteresting when it came to how it looked sloppy at times, how teams couldn't break out cleanly. It wasn't a boring game in large part. And one thing we saw Edmonton early on in this game was the commitment a little too much from the top guys when it came to overpassing. That's been a thing that we've seen a lot with this Oilers team, where it's too much of looking for the perfect shot, perfect play, instead of trying to get stuff through traffic, or when there's no traffic, just getting shots on Adin Hill can see cleanly, which was an issue as well too, because Adin Hill is too good to be beaten by clean shots from the point, unless you're Evan Bouchard. So that's got to be cleaned up, because Jake Ottinger will be a tougher challenge. And even Connor Hellebuck. Even though Connor Hellebuck has struggled this postseason, you can't take him lightly if Edmonton does get Winnipeg in the Western Conference Final. So we'll see. But man, it has been from the spectrum of highs and lows tonight for Canadian NHL franchises. You got the high of the Oilers making it to the Western Final, and you've got the low of the Leafs just getting demolished by Florida tonight in Game 5. Maple Leaf fans, I feel for you guys, because once again, y'all are seeing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. I know the other show, there's a pod that I do, Third Intermission Podcast. We had a Twitter Spaces chat today about the Leafs game post-game. We had over 500 people tapping into that Spaces chat for Third Intermission. So the Leafs fan base, they're mad. But the Oilers fan base, Oilers fans, y'all are happy. Rightfully so. Rightfully so. You should be enjoying this. Absolutely enjoying this. And we'll get into it more in our second segment. And we also try and get some post-game content from this team. But briefly, before I get too deep into it, I gotta say this much. Stu Skinner. Stuart Skinner. You know what, brother? Stu Skinner, two straight shutouts. Back-to-back games where Stuart Skinner said, you know what? The lights are bright. That's no problem for me. I got this team. I will put this team on my back. Stu Skinner came to play in both Game 4 and Game 5, and he deserves all of his props. All of them. Made some big saves in tight, high-danger area chances, point shots. He denied the big guns of Vegas, Eichel. You saw the Golden Knights coming in, throwing whatever they had at Stu Skinner in both these games. And he said, no. Full credit to Stu Skinner tonight. Oh man, I do want to get more into that and just what it means, because that's what Edmonton needs. You've gotten great goaltending out of, before he got hurt, Calvin Pickard, and now you're seeing Stu Skinner start to bounce back, get his confidence back. That is a great sign for the Oilers. And whoever they face in the Western Final should be concerned, because if you're getting back this Stu Skinner, who late in that playoff run in 2024 was on fire, if you're getting that again, oh man, if you're Dallas and company, you should be a little bit concerned. You should be a little bit concerned if you're the Stars or the Jets. Because a hot Stuart Skinner is a really, really good goaltender in the postseason. And I've said it before in this show, Stu, at times, yes, Stu can be Jekyll and Hyde. There's good and bad with his play. And he knows that the consistency has to be there. But when Stuart Skinner is on, like he has been before in the postseason, that's a scary goaltender. That's a guy that can get you a big series win when he's called upon. He truly can be. And this is a game where I mentioned how you saw the neutral zone clogged up and there wasn't many chances. Leon Draisaitl also, too, had multiple chances on odd man breaks and a breakaway, and he couldn't beat Adin Hill. Dry was trying tonight. Leon Draisaitl just could not crack Adin Hill. Hill had his number tonight in multiple instances, and that had to be frustrating for him as well. because Draisaitl was there pushing to get something beyond Adin Hill. And to Adin Hill's credit, he read everything that Skinner threw his way. That Draisaitl threw his way. So a lot of credit's got to be given there to one Mr. Adin Hill. And I saw the comments too on the broadcast and on Sportsnet about how, this series felt like it was a 7-game series. It did. This did not feel like a series that only went 5 games. This felt like Edmonton won a 7-game war. It felt like that. It felt like this series went 6 or 7 games. It did not feel like a 5-game series. But if you're the Vegas Golden Knights, that is a tough way to go down. It's a tough way to go down considering what you were, because once again, if you're Vegas, you were the cream of the crop in the Pacific Division. This was your year to once again try and get back to a Cup final. People were sleeping on Vegas. I feel like people were sleeping on the Golden Knights in the Western Conference. It was all about, look at Dallas, look at Colorado. Vegas wasn't really in the talk of being a team to watch out for, I felt at least, when it came to Western Conference threats. And here was Vegas, won the division, and took down Minnesota. But at the same time, though, they had to come back. Minnie was up in that series 2-1. But credit to the Golden Knights. They came back, they won that series, but man, it's a tough look. And of course, no Mark Stone tonight in Game 5. That could have been a difference maker right there. Not having your key cog, your key forward, Mark Stone, that is a big difference maker for a series like that, for a game like that. Vegas needed a Mark Stone. He couldn't go tonight, and that's tough for the Vegas Golden Knights not to lose your captain in a huge game like that. And one thing I was concerned about was I like Bruce Cassidy as a coach. Bruce Cassidy is a great tactician, great coach. Chris Knobloch was able to get past him. Chris Knobloch did something that Jay Woodcroft could not do. Chris Knobloch got past Bruce Cassidy. Chris Knobloch found a way to shut down a Bruce Cassidy game plan for an entire series. And he should be applauded for that. He really should be. Because again, Bruce Cassidy he's won cups before. He has gotten teams to the promised land. He's had success in Boston and in Vegas. He is no slouch. So to take him out in 5 games if you're Chris Knobloch, that is something you can put down your mantle and say that is a great accomplishment. Now it's a matter of handling a Dallas or a Winnipeg in a few days here. So whenever that series wraps up, we'll try and get a date for when Game 1 will be between Edmonton and Dallas. Now, of course, gotta see if Dallas can win it tomorrow night, or if Winnipeg still has some more fight in them to keep that series going forward. So we will definitely see how that series shakes up. And again, hey, thank you all for tapping in. I know it's late, even in the West, it's not a quiet night. People got work tomorrow, so thank you all for tapping in to the show tonight. I know y'all are enthralled, you're happy, you're full of energy, staying up here watching Game Over Edmonton. And hey, if you want to help support us, you want to help support a media company employing over 30 young journalists and analysts across Canada, if you've got a few spare bucks kicking around, then head to our Patreon page at patreon.com/the Game Over Network. There you'll find multiple tiers featuring different rewards and goodies for helping us grow. There's extra access, looks behind the scenes, Discord benefits, merchandise discounts, opportunities to give us feedback. And hey, you can join us for special live shows where you can talk to us as we launch more ways to improve your experience. And we know times are tough for some and you can't spare a few bucks. That's okay. We got a free tier available so you don't miss out. And hey, if you really want to help us out, make sure to click like and subscribe on YouTube. Rate us 5 stars on your favorite podcast app and share our work on your favorite platform of choice on social media. So once again, that is patreon.com/the Game Over Network for some tantalizing goodies, y'all. All right, that was a That was a long first period, but want to get a lot of thoughts in. There we go. Second period time here on Game Over Edmonton, and we'll try to get some post-game content. I see, hey, if you have any comments, questions, please fire them my way here for Game Over Edmonton. I want to hear what the fans are thinking about. And it was raining tonight. It was raining, so credit to the people who stood out there on a gloomy day and stood out there watching this game. Oilers fans in the Moss Pit are dedicated. Fans are dedicated to watching game of the Moss Pit, be it rain, shine. They love it. I love that. It could be 30 degrees out. It could be snowing. It could be a monsoon out there. Moss Pit fans are a dedicated bunch. And here's the thing. It could easily have been, 15, 20 fans. They could have said, oh, you know what? Screw this. I'm going to go inside and get warm. No, there are still fans. I mean, yes, there's the indoor watch parties, but there are fans who love being inside that Moss Pit, who love being around the people outside and having a good time. That is cool to see. And the fact that it's been going for 4 seasons now, I'll tip my hat to OEG. That was a great decision to put that plaza in there outside the arena so that fans could go and watch and enjoy themselves and have a fun time in that pit. But if Edmonton goes to the Cup final, if they go to the Cup final again, oh my gosh, that pit is going to be bonkers if they go to the Cup final. And I mean, we've seen it before. We saw it last year. It was wall-to-wall people. If you didn't get there, 3 to 4 hours before the game began, good luck you were not getting in. It was tough to get. Even the alternate parties, even the parties that were beside the Moss Pit, the tented parties. Even if you couldn't get into those ones if you came late. You may as well just turn back home and watch on the TV if you couldn't make it into those parties. So I thought that was funny. I thought it was funny to see how just packed it was and how dedicated these fans are, no matter what game it is, when it is. I see you got some comments here. Rex Bundy fan. So we'll get to them later on. And hey, we'll try and see if there's any comments on Twitter or in other mediums. But again, hey, it's 1 a.m. on the East Coast. It's 11:13 right now in Edmonton. I'm seeing social media right now. People are wondering, where did this Stu Skinner come from? Hey, Stu always had Stu, again, when a series goes deep, Stu is someone who can get it done. Stu is someone who can handle it. And I was watching earlier, I was tapped into the What Chaos stream with DJ Bean, Sean DePaz, and our boy Pete Blackburn. And DJ, every time they do Oilers stream or an OT stream and the Oilers win overtime, DJ's reactions kill me. DJ is such a good dude, and seeing him just absolutely go wild is funny. And then they just end the stream. It's so gifable. But that's kind of passion I love to see. I love the kind of passion out of a guy who adopted the Oilers as his team. Not from here, from Boston, Massachusetts, a Boston guy who has jumped on the bandwagon of being an Oilers guy and has been to our city now multiple times. So that was amazing. That was amazing. And it's always fun to see these games on Twitter. It's always fun to see the reaction of Twitter because Twitter is a great place to see live reactions for hockey. And another comment here from our mutual friend Tyler Remchuk, who said and this is a great point from Tyler Remchuk on Twitter. If Jim Hiller doesn't challenge that goal in the first round, if Jim Hiller doesn't challenge that goal, the Evander Kane goal, does Edmonton escape the first round? If the LA Kings can clear that puck, the Kings are knocking out Edmonton. the Kings finally get some justice. If Quentin Byfield gets that clear, Edmonton's out. Edmonton's most likely done. They don't clear. Momentum swings all the way back to Edmonton, and the Oilers press forward. Oh my gosh. See how things are all intertwined in one way or another? Wild. Wild, wild. If you're a Kings fan, if you're a Golden Knights fan, the fact that a bounce here and a bounce there didn't go your way, and you had the chances to put down McDrysaitel, and you couldn't do it, that's going to sting for a very long time in that division. Oh my gosh. That is going to sting. That is going to sting. And looking at this game here, I mentioned in the first segment the Kasperi Kapanen goal. Once again, the depth of Edmonton, the depth players have been the story. The secondary scoring has been, again, the biggest thing for Edmonton. When guys like Leon and Connor fail to score or fail to put something on the board. Guys like, again, Corey Perry, Kasperi Kapanen, Trent Frederick, Connor Brown, Vander Kane. The secondary guys have done their work, they've done their job, and that's how you succeed in the postseason. Edmonton, once again, has shown everybody this is no longer a two-man show. That narrative is done. That narrative is dead, in the grave. I'm shoveling some dirt on that narrative as we speak. I am burying that narrative like I'm Triple H in 2002. It's buried. That narrative is done. It is. Because yes, Connor and Leon are still leaders. Connor and Leon have had great moments, but they aren't the only things getting Edmonton forward. And that is what we've wanted to see out of this club for a long time during this era of McDavid and Draisaitl. Everybody else stepping up and that total team buy-in. And once again, they got it tonight. They did. They absolutely did. Oh, man, that's... We're going to gift that. I know I'm going to get gifts so hard doing that shovel thing. Oh, man. That is funny. That is funny. I see we got some comments here and questions for overtime. So, yeah, we'll get to those. We will definitely get to those because, hey, you want to hear, if you missed the actual presser or post-game stuff, you want to hear in the room, right? You want to hear about what happened in the locker room. I mean, so do I. Because when I do these shows, I can't really watch live just because of how my setup is. I can't directly watch in real time the post-game stuff. And I don't want to dox myself, but it's a weird setup we have here in Avry Studios. But we will pull it up and we'll play a couple of the pressers. I know we can't play everything because usually in the postseason, when you get into like the second and third round, these pressers go on for a long time, and you don't want to hear you want to hear more of me and more of our host talking. You don't want to just hear the pressers the entire time for 8-9 minutes. We want to give you some original content, so we'll try and see who we got here. Okay, so we do have Stu Skinner and Connor McDavid. Let's try to get you to Stuart Skinner post-game here in the second period before we head to a break. Let's try and take care of that if we can. So let's see if we can do that. Give us 1 second here, but a lot of reason for Stu Skinner to be smiling. A lot of reasons for Stu to be smiling, to be happy. He deserves it. What a series for him. What a recovery. Stu deserves the world right now. Okay. Oh, sorry, 1 second. Sorry, gang. That's not what we wanted. That is not what we wanted. That is my bad. Okay. Oh, sorry, gang. We're going to go with that right now. Okay, here we go, gang. 1 second. We will get to Stuart Skinner. Here we go, Stu Skinner.
Of you playing so well defensively in these last few games?
Yeah, it's been fantastic. the way that we've competed, the amount of block shots. I mean, in the first, I think 3 minutes we had 5 block shots. It's
Oh, sorry, gang. I think that tab is muted. Oh, no, we're good. Sorry, gang. We'll proceed.
Those are the things that it takes to win games. So all the credit goes to the guys in front of me for sure.
What does it do for your confidence to come into the series kind of cold just a little bit and get 2 consecutive shutouts?
Yeah, it's good. Really happy that I was able to come in and give my team a chance to win, and obviously being able to do it in 5 is huge. So again, just the guys' support and the way that they played in front of me is massive.
This is the recipe that you've had before. Start the playoffs, sit down for a couple games, come back in and play excellent. Does it feel like, do you feel comfortable in this? Is this a role you could get used to?
I don't think I want to do it like this too often. But I mean, it happens. It's the nature of the game. It's the nature of the position that I'm in. But yeah, being able to come back in, no matter what the scenario is, and being able to have that resiliency in me is something that I can be proud of. And yeah, I mean, again, it's so much has to do with how the guys are playing in front of me. I mean, the way that they've played ever since I've come back in is again impressive.
Pretty cagey game. How'd you kind of see it? From
Cagey game?
Cage, yeah. Like,
what do you mean?
There wasn't a lot of. Everyone looked like they were playing it safe at times, dumping the puck in, dumping the puck out. Not a lot of flow, I guess.
Yeah, I think. Well, I mean, it was just a grind of a game. I mean, that's playoff hockey as well. I think, especially in the scenario that they were in, they're fighting for their lives. We're trying to, get something going on. So a lot of back and forth, lots of dump ins. I mean, they're stifling defensively, and we are too. So the fact that we're able to, that there was so many dump ins just, shows you how good of teams the two teams are.
I'm so sorry about that. How do you describe this great Kapanen as a teammate? Of course, first year with the Oilers, and then has to wait a little bit before drawing into the playoffs, and now scores a series clutch.
Yeah, another guy that just shows you how resilient he is. Being out of the lineup and then coming in and being a real factor both nights. So. Yeah, I mean, I'm so proud of him. He's a heck of a sewer ball player. I mean, he works so hard. He's got an incredible shot. He's a really funny guy in the dressing room. He's just all-around good dude. So super, super happy for him.
How would you describe what it took from you guys in this dressing room to beat Vegas in 5? Because a lot of people have this going on.
Yeah, a lot of it had to do with our maturity and our game plan and sticking to it despite the results that maybe was going to come our way. And I think the way that we honestly, a lot of it has to do with us coming from LA and into this series. The way that we had that momentum coming in, and being able to play that type of desperate hockey has been, has done us really well. It always gives us a chance to win.
So, Biddiscombe's told us a bunch of times that this team, in order to kind of take the next step, has to be comfortable with defending and being okay with withstanding some offensive pressure from the other team. How would you describe kind of that growth that's happened with this team over the last little while?
Yeah, I mean, we've been getting better and better at that every single game. I really believe that. It's been a process to get to where we are today, and I truly believe we took another step even tonight. So again, it shows a lot of character in the room.
Third conference final in 4 years for you guys. Just give me a thought on moving on and getting another crack at it.
Yeah, it's another chance for us, another great opportunity in front of us, and again, it's just sticking to what we're doing, playing the right way, not getting caught up in that it's the third round, and just it's another hockey game where we get to play and we get to fight for each other.
All right, there is Stuart Skinner post game, and shout out to our boy Preston Hodgkinson from Daily Hive down in Vegas covering the game. You heard Preston there with the first 2 questions. Preston was down there covering the Golden Knights Oilers series, his first game on the road ever covering Oilers games. So that's really cool to see that he got to go down there with Daily Hive post game. And yeah, you see the confidence in. Of course, Stu didn't want the series to go like that again, but confidence grew, great game, and you see the love these guys had in the room for a guy like Kasperi Kapanen. What a game, what a series, and they're not going to get too caught up in who they're playing in round 3. Good mentality to have, stay prepared, don't get too caught up in who it's going to be, either a Dallas or a Winnipeg, but either way, fun stuff. And hey, if you're enjoying the show, you want some more of this, right? Well, make sure you hit the like button on this video, click subscribe on our channel, and make sure you check the notification bell so you know when we go live next. If you're tapping into our podcast, give us a 5-star rating or leave us a positive review. And hey, if you really like us, make sure to follow us on your favorite social media platforms. You can tap into the Game Over Network on Blue Sky at thegameovernetwork.com, on TikTok and Twitter at Game Over NHL, or on Instagram, Threads, and LinkedIn at Game Over Network. You can find me on Twitter at Avry at AVRY. You can find me on Instagram at Avry Sports. Find me on Blue Sky at Avry. You can also find us at thegameovernetwork.com, where you can sign up for our upcoming newsletter. So yes, and all right, third period time. So of course, they're gonna keep on dancing, and they're gonna keep on playing Pink Pony Club in the locker room. That's become the theme of this team in the postseason. It's become their song of choice, and you're seeing it become a thing played all over the city now. Restaurants, bars, they've adopted that song as their anthem. And over the years, we've heard different songs become Oiler anthems, La Bamba, now Pink Pony Club. Tarzan Boy was also an Oilers song for a long time that he played in the room and after wins. So there's a few different songs that have become the Oilers theme, and this year it's Pink Pony Club by Chapel Roan. So they keep on dancing. Another round and another piece of post-game content we'll get to here. Let's jump into the post-game presser with one Mr. Connor McDavid. Give me 1 second here. We'll pull up the video and audio of Connor. Oh, that's what we want. And 1 second. There we go. There's Connor.
Connor, what can you say about your team's defensive play over these last 2 games?
I thought it was great. I thought everyone dug in really hard. I thought Stu was great, bailed us out whenever we had a breakdown. The kill was great. Defensively really, really good.
What does Stu coming in and pitching 2 straight shutouts in such important games, a series clincher, mean to this team?
Well, hopefully it shuts a lot of people up that were talking about him, first and foremost. But, we've always had belief in him, comes in and pitches 2 shutouts. Can't say enough good things.
To seek yesterday, getting the winning goal in overtime, is it a great administration of the day?
Absolutely. A guy that didn't start the series playing, comes in and is asked to play in a big role, and finds a way to get a goal there, a huge goal. Really good.
I think a lot of people saw this game going longer than 5. This series going a lot longer than 5 games. What does it say about your team that you were able to play Vegas the way that you did?
There's probably a lot of people that thought it was going to go longer than 5, and probably not a lot of people that thought we would win. It's nice to keep on rolling, keep on proving people wrong. We got a lot of belief in this room. It's fun to be part of.
Connor, you asked obviously about the way you guys have defended the last couple of games, but it just seems like there's been a natural progression over the last couple of years even. Have you seen that, the way that you guys defend and feel more comfortable defending as a group?
I mean, how many times are we going to answer this question, really? Honestly, that's frustrating that we keep talking about this. We can defend. We can. We've showed that time and time again. Come into a tough building and win a 1-0 game when it matters most. We can play that way. We can score goals. We can, whatever it takes, we can win games.
Do you, I know it's a different year and it's different players and stuff. Does this team look different than last year's team and perhaps maybe a little bit better, maybe a little bit deeper? What do you think at this stage?
Tough to compare. I know we got a good team. Obviously we keep showing it. We've beaten 2 really, really good teams. LA, Vegas, obviously. and we've done it largely kind of grinding through special teams, PK's been battling the power play, struggled all series long, and, that's a new story for you guys to write too, 5-on-5, we've been really, really good. Yeah.
Do you have a thought on going to the conference final for the third time last 4 years?
Not really excited, obviously. Excited. We keep putting ourselves in good positions and keep giving ourselves a chance. We keep knocking at the door. That's all you can do. Keep giving yourself a chance.
All right, there's Connor McDavid, and Connor seemed a little bit irritated by that question from Daniel Nugent-Bowman from The Athletic when it came to defending. He seemed pissed at that question from DNB. That was interesting. That's interesting how Connor just didn't like that question about defending from Daniel Nugent-Bowman. So, I mean, yes, Edmonton, you look at the metrics, they are a better defensive team than some people think. They are a good defensive team. I mean, yes, they've had times where they've had lapses, but overall, they've been a really good team defensively, especially guys like Evan Bouchard, who, again, people only see the little mistakes. You don't see Bouch being a really great defender at denying zone entries. So that's where a narrative kind of comes from. So if I'm Connor, I get why he didn't like that question. I definitely see why that irked him. But overall, great game, great series. Fun to see, again, like I mentioned earlier, the depth stepping up, the depth getting it done. And Dallas, Winnipeg, if you're an Oilers fan, you want that series to go long. You don't want Dallas finishing up that series in 5. You want Winnipeg to find a way to claw their way back, take down Dallas. If they can't take down Dallas, at least make that series a war of attrition. At least make that series where no matter who comes out of Dallas, Winnipeg, they're tired, they're beaten up, their energy is sapped. If you're an Oilers fan, that is what you want. Will we get that? I don't know. Winnipeg right now looks like a team that's at the end of the road when it comes to getting it past Dallas. I mean, it looked like with the Jets, every bit of strength they had looked like got sapped out of them after that St. Louis series. It looks like every bit of luck they had, they used up to survive that series against the Blues and in Game 7 of that series. But you know what? Hey, again, stranger things have happened. It's hockey. It's playoff hockey. So who knows? Who knows? But I do know one thing. Oh, you want some game over? Oh, sorry, gang. Oh, we got a little bit of a mess here with our, Don't know what happened there, but it appears our ad read stream got a little bit messed up here. Yikes. That is not good. I don't know how that happened. I do not know what happened there, but oh dear. That's not sure what happened there. So we'll try to adjust here. Sorry, gang. Try to get a real-time fix here. Oh. Everything was going right until this. Oh dear. So bear with me. We'll try to get through this here. You know what? We'll get through that. Oh boy. Everything couldn't go right on this episode. Everything couldn't go right, but you know what? It is what it is. But in the meantime, hey, if you like the show, if you enjoyed the show, get yourself some Game Over apparel, because what better way to support something you love than by repping it on yourself. Game Over's apparel line has dropped with 3 unique designs. Whether you want to feel the nostalgic pull of our retro scare design, want to make a statement with our established design, want to wear your love for goalies proudly with our live and die by the goalie design, or we just need another coffee and toque to get you through the winter, we got you covered. Or a juice, beer, pop in the summertime. Designed by Brady Chalice from Game Over Winnipeg. Use the QR code on stream now and take a look through our apparel store and help us rebuild local sports media in Canada while repping your community. Okay, all right. Overtime, y'all. Okay, overtime, your questions, your comments. Let's see what we got. Going back to the actual stream. Okay, I mentioned Rex the Bunny fan just was saying, hey, Capper scores, Skinner back-to-back shutouts, just general cheering from Capper, Go Oil. Thanks for the fun. And I see we got one more question here from my boy, my old former co-host, my dearest friends in hockey and in sports, Matt Ingles, at Ingles_14. What do you make of the captain being so dismissive of post-game media? Do you take that as confidence in the midst of on to the next one, or does it pull out some painful strings and annoy 97 having to answer those questions? Connor McDavid is someone who, if you ask him a good question, you ask him something he likes to talk about, he'll give you an insightful answer. Certain topics I do think that it is to an extent him just wanting to move on. I do think it is that to an extent. But in years past, Connor wasn't the best with media. Connor is getting better. But I do think that it was a matter of him not wanting to rehash certain topics over and over again. Like the defensive play, it did irk him. So that's why I do think he's like, we've talked about that enough. I want to get past that. But when you get to Connor McDavid, talk to him about praising his other teammates, guys like Kapanen and Stu, he gives you great insight. When you talk about praising his teammates, talking about himself or older narratives, he doesn't like very much. And in large part, we don't take it personally. At least I don't. A lot of other media guys don't take it personally. It's how Connor is, how he's been. And sometimes in the room, when it comes to Connor, he's a very dry sense of humor. Sometimes he'll have a comment that's very funny under the radar, but it's really with Connor, his mood, the situation, reading him. So it's nothing personal. It's just how he is. But when it comes to interaction with the media, with McDavid, he is a lot better than years past. I'll say that much. Anyways, that's it. That's all. Game Over Edmonton is a wrap. Thank you all for tapping in during this series, during LA, during our post-game show live from Match Pub and Eatery. We will have round 3 content soon. Whenever Dallas and Winnipeg end their series, we're going to have fun with that. Edmonton wins the series 4-1. They beat the Vegas Golden Knights tonight 1-0 in overtime. Kasperi Kapanen, the game winner. I'm Avry Lewis-McDougall. I am out. We'll talk to you again in round 3. Have a good night. Peace.